Welcome to episode 6 of Digital Innovation Talks. My name is Albert Opoku, and I'll be your host for today. I'm a co-founder of hapaSpace, and I work as the external relationship manager. hapaSpace is based in the beautiful country of Ghana and is in the second capital called Kumasi. Digital Innovation Talks. That is the theme of our AfriConEU videocast series. For those of you wondering what a vidcast is, it is simply a podcast that contains video content. So there are 12 series involved in these 12 monthly episodes, running from April 2022 up to March 2023. And each episode will explore a different topic related to the EU Africa Digital Innovation Hubs and startup ecosystem. For those of you who are watching us for the very first time, AfriConEU is a project that aspires to create the first Trans-Continental Networking Academy to support African and European digital innovation hubs in capacity building, knowledge sharing, networking, collaboration, joint ventures, and venture development. The project has received funding from the European Union's Horizon 2020 Research and Innovation Program and is implemented from February 2021 on to January 2024. It involves 4 partners from Africa and 7 partners from Europe. Once again, welcome to episode 6 of Digital Innovation Talks. So let's get started. The topic of our episode today is digitalization in agriculture. Let me introduce you to our guest for today. She is Saša Štraus, senior expert in ITC and DIH agri-food in Slovenia. Welcome, Saša. Tell us a
Thanks.
bit more about yourself and ICT and DIH agri-food.
Thanks, Albert. Good morning, listeners. I'm Saša Štraus. I hold PhD in agriculture, and I could say that I'm an expert in the food systems. Regarding different aspects, my favorite is sustainability and all linked to that, but also including digitalization and implementing new technology. I work in ITC, which is also the founder of DIH Agri-Food, but more about it later.
Brilliant. Welcome once again. And I can see you work in a very vast area. And you being an expert, our audience have put together a number of questions over the last few weeks. And they want to have some really interesting answers from you. So let's get started and find out what our audience wants to know. The first question really that came up was, what is digitalization in the agri-food sector?
Yes, when someone hears digitalization, think that this is something from computers, guys, and not applicable to farmers' life. But this is not true. Digital technologies include also the internet, mobile technologies and devices, data analytic, artificial intelligence, digitally delivered service and apps. And if I say some examples of it at different stages of the food systems or the value chain, there are farm machinery automatization, which allows fine-tuning of inputs and reduce demand for manual labor. Remote satellite data and in situ sensor improve the accuracy and reduce the cost of monitoring crop growth and quality, and traceability technologies and digital logistics service offer the potential to streamline agri-food supply chain. So it's the broader aspects and broader scope of using digitalization in agriculture or food systems. Mainly the farmer and all actors can benefit from it.
Brilliant, brilliant. So with all these things that you've mentioned when it comes to digitalization, that leads us to the second question really. What are the benefits and challenges that we have in the agri-food sector?
The benefits are mainly to improve efficiency, to reduce manual labors. If we go in the digital technologies with big data and the Internet of Things, they are widely considered promising new tools for both increasing productivity and competitiveness in agri-food sector and ensuring more sustainable use of resources. Knowledge and insights derived from ever increasing volumes and a variety of digital data help to optimize farm production processes, improve risk management, predict market trends, and enhance strategic decision-making capabilities. So, in all aspects, from farmer to processor to retail and to the consumers, there are huge benefits in efficiency and also in sustainability. And the challenges are that the technologies are not really adopted by the farmers and other entities, and the main reason for that is lack of digital skills, I would like to say, and the huge economics that is behind, because new technologies are almost every time costly if they are not.
Yeah,
um,
I get it.
yes, and this is the problem and
Wow,
challenges. Yes.
that's interesting. Very, very interesting. But I mean, for what you just explained to us, we can see that the benefits are really huge for the world, and it actually goes into the next questions from our listeners and our readers and people from our community, really, which is what is preventing digitalization from reaching mass adoption across the world?
Yes, based on research, the currently in the world, there are fewer than 10% of farmers who are implementing some form of digitalized practice on their farmland. And key issues are many new technologies don't have clear identified return on investments, or they are just too costly. Especially this is the problem for small farmers with fewer hectares or fewer animals, because then the return of investment is either too small or it's in the next 20 years or 30 years. This is one of the problem. And many farms or other entities in the agriculture or in the food systems don't have the necessary infrastructure to support the integration of new technologies. And big data security and privacy related issues are proven to be one major holding back factor, because with the trust issues, farmers don't have the trust issues that the given data in some entities, other entities than themselves, and that the data will be spread all over, and that they will not have some insights what some other entities are doing with that data, or even selling their data to other entities who is in need for those data. This is one of the major drawbacks, or also for the data space, which is one of the emerging technologies, so to say, in agriculture and food systems. And it's all about it in the last year. We all talk about data space, I think. More than ever, and data are really next gold, I will say.
Yes, really. I mean, seeing that there's just about 10% of people involved in the, let me ask you, and I think our readers and community also have the same question really on their minds, which is our fourth question for the day, is what is your organization, your own organization, doing in this field?
Yes, we are basically the international technology cluster, and we have some insights on what is going on in the field, in our local environment and broader in European Union and in the world. And we see that farmers and farmer associations have problem like lack of digital skills, that complexity of new technologies are too huge, and farmers prefer testing before investments. They want to see real results in real fields and in our own environment. And that is the reason why we founded Digital Innovation Hub AgriFood. And our focus is not to go in depth in each new technology, but provide basic knowledge. And through our living lab, Greenpoint, which is short food supply chain, we have the place for testing and implementing new technologies. And also important part of it is that we can find additional funds for investing. And in short, in AgriFood is all about multi-actor approach, and we connect different stakeholders. And so it's also important that as we connect also the scientific part and solution providers and farmers and processors and all entities or actors of value chain, we provide the, I could say, clear trajectory to one another. They can meet, the scientific university and others professor have playground for testing, and also the farmers get additional knowledge. And it's important we have these three pillars. One is digitalization, and the second one is food supply chain. And also we want to connect the tourism with or gastronomy with food-related issues. And also the important part is building awareness about not only about digitalization and benefits of it and new technologies, but also to provide some insights or good practices so the farmers can see what this brings to them. So this is in short.
Wow, wow, impressive. You guys do a lot. I think three key things from what you said. An international organization. You talk about supply chain and you talk about awareness, right? Now
Yes.
that leads really into my fifth question and from our audience, which is, and that comes really from, from where I sit in Africa, talk about supply chain awareness and things. So do you think that people in Africa know all the details about the food products they consume, things like the origin, the production, the quality, ingredients, and all of that? And how can that information about food product in Africa be more transparent?
It's not only in Africa, it's the global problem. Because as for consumers, the origin is more important, and they seek more for local products. And there are more food frauds emerging, not in Africa only, also in Europe, in America, and you name it. And it's estimated that between 30 to 40 billion dollars cost is from the global food industry. And this is the huge problem, I would say. Not only for the food fraud in the origin, but also in ingredients, in labeling, in stated that some produce is organic and really it's not. And so in our own food supply chain, we are now developed and implementing traceability system based on blockchain to connect product on the shelf with field. And customer then scan the QR code and can see all the data regarding production and logistic. And the benefits of blockchain-based system is that once you enter the data in blockchain, you cannot change it. So you cannot fraud it. So this is one of the aspect when digitalization and new technology have a direct benefit for consumer and also for the farmer, and also to increase trust in whole food system.
Brilliant. Thank you so much for that answer. And now, final question, a question for the day, which is, what are the regulatory powers necessary to ensure that the technology and data used can be trusted in terms of agriculture?
Yes, I was talking about the data space before, and I will referring to it now once more, because the most important part of data space is a data governance model, and this is a framework that outlines processes and systems for data creation, data storage and maintains, and data disposal. And through data governance model, also the data privacy is ensured. And now it's the time that government and regulatory make the uh, definitions and also the laws that is one step further of what we already have. And I think this is the power of regulators, that they stick to the GDPR or one step further. And then we will get the trust also.
Thank you so much, Sasa, for sharing your insight and your experience with us, and making us get better understanding of the questions around digitalization in agri-food. Thank you also all of you for watching, and do not forget to subscribe on our YouTube channels, follow us on social media, and actually stay up to date on what is happening between African EU. And stay tuned for our next episode, episode
Thank
7.
you.
Have a wonderful day, Sasa.
Thank you, Albert. You too.
Okay, bye.